I'm going to show you how to download and build Loop Follow today. The first thing you want to do is go to github.com/johnfawcett/loopfollow. That will take you directly to the repository. If you want to help me out with changes and updates and features, just fork a copy for yourself. That'll copy it to your own repository, and then you can do these same steps from there and then issue pull requests on that. If you click on the Issues tab, you'll see I'm keeping this up to date with bugs that I found, new feature enhancements, feature requests. If you have a bug that you find or a feature request or anything like that, I ask that you put it as a new issue in here. And that way everything stays in one place and everyone can see all the bugs and things like that as we're working on them. So to start building, I recommend that you clone it directly to your computer. This will keep it all under source control rather than downloading a zip file like you may have done with Loop in the past. To do that, from the clone download button in GitHub, you'll click open in Xcode. This is just a shortcut to some of the git clone commands that you'll see on the LoopDocs workspace page. This is doing the same thing, but all behind the scenes directly in Xcode. What it's going to prompt you for is the folder where you want to clone this repository to on your computer. We're going to use just the desktop so you can see it here on my video. This folder can be anywhere you want on the computer. You just need to make sure you remember where you've saved it to. So this will automatically open Xcode. It's going to open that project right from this folder that you downloaded. If this is the first time building, you do want to make sure that CocoaPods are installed and running. These are dependencies that I use. One is Eureka, which controls all the buttons and switches used in the alarm settings and the main settings. The other is Charts, and this is what controls and creates the BG graph. To make sure we have CocoaPods set up correctly, hit Command Space on your computer. That'll open the Spotlight search window, and you can just start typing terminal and then hit enter. Now we need to run those terminal commands in this loop follow folder that was just cloned. To do that, we're going to do cd space, that is change directories is what that stands for, and then just drag the folder into Finder. That's a little shortcut to create that path in the terminal. Hit enter, and that's going to move our terminal command prompt into that subfolder. You can confirm this by typing ls enter. That's a list command. The key thing is we have to run these commands in the folder that has the pod file that you see right there. So the first command you want to run, I'm just going to type it out right here. So the first is sudo, which is super user do. That's basically a command to tells the computer to run this as an administrative user. Space gem, G-E-M, space install, space CocoaPods. What this is going to do is this is going to install the entire CocoaPods module behind the scenes, similar to how you would install Homebrew. We'll hit return. It's going to prompt for your password. This is your computer password. So what you log into the computer with, that's what you're going to type here. Don't be alarmed that you don't see any characters as you type it. That's just a security feature. Hit enter after you type it, and it should start running the commands. You should see some successfully installed CocoaPods. As long as you see that, we're all good to proceed to the next step. The next step is to set up the pod specifically for this project. And so what this does is it says pod install. That reads that pod file that I mentioned, which inside that file, it tells it the two pods we're going to use. And this is going to make sure those pods are downloaded, set up in the project. You should get a pod install complete. We're all good to go from that point. Then back in Xcode, let me click on loop follow here. And if you go to the signing, you pick your team, it should automatically set up the bundle identifiers. Now this functions just like Loop does, where you don't have to worry about those being typed in as unique. And from here, typically you will just go pick your phone at the top of the list, just like Loop. I'm going to build it to a simulator instead. These simulators just open essentially a fake iPhone running as software on your computer. Now I'm going to show you how to update your local copy to grab the latest changes out of GitHub and always keep local copy in sync so that you can build it with new features and functions that we create. You're going to start by using source control menu, and you're going to say fetch changes. Now I should point out that if you are editing code and doing contributions, don't follow these steps. This is mainly for people that are just going to build app updates. Once it is fetched changes, you'll use the source control button right next to the files button in Xcode. And this is going to show you two main things here. The branches master is your local copy. And if you click that, that lists all of the changes and commits that are downloaded locally. The remote's origin master is what is updated on GitHub. And you can see your local copy is one commit behind of what's on GitHub. If you look in the remotes, you'll see what that one is. It's the last one, added Night Scout token setting. So you'll see typically descriptions in here, persistent high, app inactive alert. So this will, in general, tell you what that commit did. You can always right click and say view on GitHub and view more details or view any of the comments as we were discussing. Now, once you are ready to update, you will want to use the pull command under the source control menu. Now, when you pull, it's going to prompt you if you want to apply your local changes on top of those when it's downloaded. If you're not editing, the only local change should be your signing. So it is actually picking your Apple Developer ID. We're going to say let's go ahead and apply those on top of the changes after the changes get downloaded. And we'll just give this a name of signing. So what this is technically going to do behind the scenes, it's going to make a copy of your changes, and then as soon as it's done downloading the new GitHub changes, it's going to apply your changes back on top. Now you can see this last change is listed as it's both available on the origin master and on master, which is your local copy. If you click here, you'll see you're now up to date. And if we click here, your signing is still applied. All you have to do is click play to build again.